Hello, I'm Teresa Coleman-Kaiser. Welcome to Safety Orientation and Basic Safety Training.
Safety resources. There are many safety assistance resources available. Your supervisor should always be the first person you contact about safety. You can visit Michigan Tech's Occupational Safety and Health Services, also known as OSHS, in person, by phone, or online. The University Safety Manual and other health and safety information are on the OSHS website at www.admin.mtu.edu/fm/OSHS. The Michigan Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or MIOSHA, has a lot of information online, and they list many ways that you can contact them at www.michigan.gov/MIOSHA. It's important that you understand and recognize the responsibilities regarding your safety and that of your coworkers. Michigan Tech has a responsibility to provide basic safety training and safety orientation to all employees before starting work each year and after that. In return, we ask that you follow all safety procedures and rules. Use the safety equipment that is provided. Never defeat safety guards or features on equipment or buildings. Report all injuries, no matter how minor they may seem. Ask for assistance from your supervisor or coworkers when needed. Attend all additional safety training required in your job as arranged with your supervisor. Every workplace should have a guide to emergency procedures. This guide has information about many other emergency situations not covered in this training. You can get one from your supervisor or find it online at www.mtu.edu/publicsafety/police-services/emergency guide. Inside, you will find information regarding elevator emergencies, what to do in the event of an explosion on campus, what to do if you receive a bomb threat or suspicious package, and information about what to do if there is an active shooter on campus. Please become familiar with it. Emergency safety. Let's take a look at the basics of emergency procedures. In any emergency, stay calm and call 911. The 911 dispatcher will ask you what the emergency is and where you are so they can get the right help to you as quickly as possible. Never be afraid to call 911. If you do not have a phone, feel free to use any phone located on campus. There are also designated emergency phones located across campus with a blue light on top. You can find the locations of these phones online at www.mtu.edu/maps. Campus safety features. Located throughout each campus building are features designed to protect the lives of our students, employees, and visitors. These safety features include emergency lighting, smoke detection, evacuation alarms, sprinklers, lighted exit signs, and fire-resistant construction. Please remember the following. Hallways are not for storage because items in the way are dangerous in an evacuation. Do not prop open fire doors, indicated by a tag on the frame of the door. Exit signs must be visible. Don't paint or cover sprinkler heads and leave at least 18 inches of clearance below them so they function properly. Don't cover or block fire pole boxes or fire extinguishers. Keep paths to electrical shutoffs and circuit panels clear. Light switches and outlets must have metal covers. If you notice that they don't, tell your supervisor. Safety when not on campus. You should be aware of emergency events happening on campus, even when you are not. Whether you are on or off campus, you will be contacted using the Safety First Alert system. These messages are typically communicated through email, text messages, or voicemail. You can set your emergency communication preferences for these alerts on BandWeb, and instructions can be found online at www.mtu.edu/safetyfirstalert. Also, make sure your supervisor has your most current contact information. To check on the campus safety and current emergencies, you can listen to local radio stations or check Michigan Tech's Safety First webpage at www.mtu.edu/safetyfirstalert. Work-related accidents. If there is a work-related accident, again, remain calm. Call 911 if there is an injury. The 911 dispatcher will send Michigan Tech's on-campus EMS, who will quickly reach the scene and be able to determine if additional care is needed. Be sure to report any incidents right away. Supervisors must fill out an incident report for injuries requiring any first aid or serious care, close calls that could have resulted in serious injury or property damage incidents, all unintended fires. Bandages can be found in first aid kits. Look at the building maps in this course to see where they are located. If you do have an accident at work and go to the doctor or emergency room, remember to get a doctor's report or workers' compensation return to work form before you go, or as soon as possible after. Fire safety. In any fire situation, remain calm and evacuate the area. Once outside, call 911. If you notice smoke or a fire and the building alarm has not sounded, pull the red fire alarm handle located near any exit on your way out. If an alarm is sounded, you should always exit the building, even if you think it may be a false alarm. No matter what the circumstance of the fire, only use stairs. Never use an elevator. Once you have evacuated the building, you must stay at least 100 feet away. Go to your department's designated meeting location as noted on the evacuation and lockdown procedures. Don't go back into the building until you've been given the all-clear signal from a police officer or the fire department. Fire extinguishers are noted on the building maps available in this course. Do not use a fire extinguisher unless you've been trained. Housekeeping safety. Housekeeping is the best indicator of safety. A safe work environment means organized storage of supplies and materials. No clutter in aisles, which can be slip or trip hazards. Enough area or space to work. Enough clear space for exit paths. Open access to circuit boxes, shutoff valves, and other emergency equipment. Ladder safety. You may come across a job where a ladder is needed. When working with a ladder, there are some important things to remember. Always use a ladder or step stool appropriate for the job. Never use a chair, box, counter, or other object. When working with electricity, such as cords or other equipment, only use fiberglass ladders. Use only commercial-grade 225-pound or greater capacity ladders. Ladders with a capacity less than 200 pounds are not allowed at Michigan Tech. When going up or down the ladder, you must have 3 points of contact, 2 feet and 1 hand, or 2 hands and 1 foot. If tools or materials are needed while working on a ladder, they should be carried in a tool belt or raised using a rope and bucket after climbing. Keep yourself between the side rails of the ladder for stability. Don't reach off the ladder. Never stand on the topmost rung or on the top of a step ladder. If your routine job duties require using a ladder, you should receive additional ladder safety training. Wet grounds and floor safety. One of the most common causes of accidents on campus happens from wet floors and slippery ground or floor conditions. It is particularly important to be extra careful during the winter. Some tips to help you avoid accidents are: wear only shoes or boots with good traction. Walk slower and take smaller steps on snow or ice-covered sidewalks and wet floors. Expect shoes to be slippery when entering a building on winter and wet days. Always use the handrails on stairs. Michigan Tech sands the sidewalks a lot, but be sure to follow these tips and report particularly icy areas to the grounds department. Their phone number can be found in the Michigan Tech directory. Back injury safety. Back injuries are a common cause of disability at Michigan Tech. It is important to understand material handling and safe lifting techniques. Remember, always get help for heavy and awkward lifts. Injury risk factors include poor grip, a heavy or bulky load, reaching, bending, twisting, pulling, and repetitive motion. Use a cart if possible. Make sure the path is clear first. Keep your line of vision clear. Don't store anything heavy on top of file cabinets or high shelves. Repetitive stress disorder. Some common workplace injuries include repetitive stress disorders such as carpal tunnel, tendinitis, and bursitis. If your work requires you to do repetitive movement, talk to your supervisor so the job and equipment can be evaluated. Electrical safety. Electrical safety is important to everyone on campus. Here are some basic electrical safety practices. Extension cords are only for mobile or temporary use. Cords may not be run through or attached to a wall or other hard surface. Make sure cords are rated for the load amperage. Don't use spliced or damaged cords or link cords together. Use only ground fault circuit interrupter or GFCI protected cords in wet conditions. Only Michigan Tech electricians may work on building electrical systems. Disconnect portable equipment from the power source before making adjustments or repairs. Never remove locks or attempt to activate equipment or systems that have been locked or tagged out for repair. If you find any electrical hazards or receive a shock during normal use of equipment, notify your supervisor immediately. Hazardous materials safety. Michigan Tech has written a hazard communication plan that must be followed. This can be found at the OSHS website at www.admin.mtu.edu/fm/oshs/manual.htm. Some of you will be working with hazardous materials. These hazardous materials generally involve cleaning chemicals, but other types of hazardous materials may be required depending on your job. Chemicals need to be labeled and in their original containers. If the original container is not available, or if the chemical needs to be mixed with water, only use containers that are suitable for it and label the new container with all the same information from the original. If you don't know what a suitable container is, check with your supervisor. For all chemicals, there is a safety data sheet, or SDS, available for it. You may know them by their former name of MSDS. The SDS contains health and safety information on all hazardous substances and are stored in a central location in each workplace. These locations are noted on the building maps in this course. If you're disposing of waste chemicals or old unused chemicals, there are procedures that need to be followed. You should contact your supervisor or go over the proper form and procedures for disposing chemicals. If there is a toxic or flammable spill, contact your supervisor immediately for assistance. If your supervisor or another manager is not available and the spill is more than a pint of liquid, call 911 and report the incident. Please remember the following. Correctly store chemical containers in an appropriate storage place. Flammable or corrosive chemicals need to be stored in a specific area designed for them. Use safety goggles, gloves, or other personal protective gear if required for the specific chemical you are using. Never dispose of containers of liquid in the regular trash. Contact the Grounds Department of Facilities for disposal of fluorescent light bulbs, CRT computer monitors, televisions, and rechargeable batteries. Disposal of fuels, lubricants, chemicals, pesticides, and other toxic or environmentally hazardous materials must be coordinated with the OSHS. The Department of Transportation, or DOT, regulates shipments of all hazardous materials, including explosives, compressed gases, flammable liquids and solids, oxidizers, poisons, radioactive materials, corrosives, environmental toxins, and wastes. All hazardous material shipments, even return shipments leaving Michigan Tech, must be prepared by a DOT-trained person. Contact OSHS for assistance if you need to ship such materials. Your supervisor is responsible for evaluating all aspects of your job to determine if you need further safety training. If your job requires additional training, your supervisor will arrange that with you. Accidents usually happen when you're not paying attention or when you're rushing. Remember, doing your job safely is your #1 priority. This completes the basic safety training and safety orientation video. To complete your training, you'll need to take the general safety test. After you have completed the test with a score of 100, you will have access to additional information specific to your particular workplace, such as the evacuation and lockdown procedures, and building maps which show the locations for fire extinguishers, MSDSs, automated external defibrillators, or AEDs, and emergency meeting locations. Some departments also have additional training materials posted. To take the test, you need to return to the home page and click on the test link. Enter the password TRAINING with a capital T. Once you have completed the quiz with a score of 100, print the test score, fill out the acknowledgement sign-off sheet, and return both to your supervisor.